Our city has made great strides these past 3 years, but there's much more work to do. Now, looking forward, I believe that for Colorado Springs to be a successful city, we must achieve 3 essential goals. The first is a vibrant, diversified economy, attracting and retaining young professionals. Second, a fiscally sustainable city government delivering consistent quality core services with limited resources. And thirdly, and really the remaining focus of my remarks today, we must achieve a well-maintained city of which we can all be proud. First, on jobs in our economy, the challenge is this. During the last 13 years, Colorado has gained a significant number of new jobs. Colorado Springs has not. Our economy is just inching forward. At the same time, we've traded down from higher-paying tech jobs to lower-paying jobs in other sectors. And despite the stagnant economy, our population is up 130,000 people, most retired people. So what is the solution? Honestly, I think it's simply this. Our overriding theme must be jobs are job one for all of us, every day, 24/7. Every one of us ought to be thinking about how we can do our part to attract and retain quality jobs in this community. Even if it's just calling me to say, somebody complained about the city the other day, Mayor, do you want to do something about it? You bet I do. Regarding the second goal of keeping our city government afloat, we have no choice. I don't want to have to turn out the lights, not on my watch. The challenge is that our general fund is predicted to be insolvent within 5 years. At the end of this year, we hope to have $40 million in emergency reserves. We're told by professional staff that unless we find some answers, either bending the cost curve down and or increasing our receipts, that in 5 years that we will have a negative $10 million per year in our cash flow. Well, obviously that can't happen, and we're not going to let it happen. It's a big challenge. The solution is this. We must complete the city government transformation, and that means a culture change from a regulatory agency mindset to a customer service focus. We must continue stretching every tax dollar we spend by rethinking everything we are doing and by reinventing and innovating and unleashing our employees' ingenuity. Also, of course, over time, we need to increase sales and use tax receipts through a resurgent economy. It'd be great if our real property tax would increase, but it's such a small amount, it wouldn't make a material difference. We only collect $19 million a year in property tax, folks, on a $400 million budget. On the third goal of achieving a well-maintained city, our challenge are the aging areas of our city and a $1.3 billion improvement projects backlog. When I first got here, I was told it was $2.7 billion. We have scrubbed that 6 ways from Sunday, if I could use that terminology. We're down to 1.3. We might have $100 million in there that maybe we don't have to do, but that still leaves a huge backlog. So we must address that backlog all across the community in 5 key categories. IT, that's the city's IT, our parks, public safety, the combination of streets, transit, and engineering, and stormwater. I really believe, after 48 years here and 3 years as mayor, that we must stop kicking the can down the road by deferring holistic capital improvement project needs. We must stop making piecemeal infrastructure improvement decisions. Continuing the Band-Aid approach to CIP is not an option if we are to be a successful city. So what is the solution to all this? I believe that by ramping up a holistic one-step CIP program for all of our backlog capital improvement projects, and then continuing to maintain and update our infrastructure on a current basis is the answer. Of course, our best option to fund that would be to grow this economy with substantially increased sales and property tax revenue. But honestly, I've been hoping that for 3 years, folks. And I just will say to you, citizen to citizen, we are not going to get there anytime soon. It'll happen. We'll do it together, but it's not going to happen next year or even the year after. We're not going to have enough additional cash flow to do all this work we must do if we're going to have a well-maintained city. Well, the other option to a growing economy and substantially more sales tax, as we discussed with City Council earlier this week, is to issue new bonds subject to voter approval and without raising taxes, or to ask the voters to consider a sales tax increase. Council may have other funding ideas. This approach focuses on a single request to the voters for all CIP funding and enables the city to move forward quickly to address all components of our crumbling infrastructure. Overcoming our CIP backlog in a holistic one-step manner will demonstrate that the citizens of Colorado Springs care about how our city looks and functions to the benefit of all who live and visit here. Now, if I could, any sales tax increase approved by the voters should have a sunset provision, except for a small portion for ongoing maintenance of new improvements, and with voters having a later opportunity to extend the additional funding if satisfied with initial results. I believe that specific projects should be identified up front to be completed each year in each category in each quadrant of the city, so everybody can see what's going to happen if they will come on board and help us with more funding. Today, I am respectfully asking City Council to move forward with funding for all of our high-priority infrastructure needs. I will support any reasonable, holistic, one-step solution. If we're going to be a first-class city, we got to look like it, folks. Don't we? Well, to achieve